It's the last wave. This movie's finally over. It's the last wave. That's my best Todd Rundgren. Sue me. Actually, don't sue me, please. Hello, Criterion guy Nate Jackson here with all the things about Criterion. And yeah, number 142, The Last Wave, directed by Peter Weir, with the Picnic at Hanging Rock guy. But be honest with you, this one was actually not too bad. It wasn't the most interesting movie. It was kind of confusing, a little, very open-ended, just like Picnic at Hanging Rock, so I ain't gonna give it a great rating, but worth a watch. Worth a watch to see friggin' David Gullipi from Walkabout. I was looking at him, I didn't get it, and then I was watching the movie, and I was listening to his voice, and I was like, that's the guy from Walkabout! Yeah, I remember that guy, yeah. So, that was kind of cool to see him in another film. Yeah. And Richard Chamberlain was awesome. And, thankfully, this is the final Peter Weir movie in the Criterion Collection right now. I guess they only have Picnic at Hanging Rock and The Last Wave. And I guess he's directed a bunch more, but maybe they just haven't gotten around to it yet, or I don't know. Anyway, and then I didn't realize that he had directed so many other popular movies like The Truman Show and Master and Commander and all that, So I have to check those out. Maybe they're pretty decent. Definitely, they're a lot more mainstream. Dead Poet Society. Wow. Anyway, but let's talk about The Last Wave. This one will be short because I can't really describe this one too much. I'll try. It has this lawyer. His name's David Burton, and he's played by Richard Chamberlain, and he has these weird dreams, these weird premonitions of real weather things, and you see all these weird things happen, like frogs falling from the sky, and rain, this weird the staircase in their house starts leaking or it's seeping or something, and there's flooding and all that in their house, and it ends up tying in with this murder case that he somehow gets assigned to, even though he wasn't contacted through the normal, somebody just tells him about it or something. I didn't quite catch that one. It's a bunch of Aborigine people who apparently one of them gets murdered, and they say it's to do with a curse that was that's on their tribe or something like that. And even though there are apparently no tribes left in Australia, I'm not quite sure about that part. So if I make a mistake on that part, forgive me. I'm kind of also going off what Peter Weir said in an interview that he said in the special features. It's funny, at this point, it's actually funny, I noticed that they call it special features back then, but now they call them supplements. Interesting. Anyway, so Peter Weir, lives with his family. His wife starts getting, he starts growing really distant from his wife, and his kids get freaked out a little because they, the more he gets into this case, and he deals with one of the Aborigine people by name, what's his name? Chris? Was David Goldpulley's name? Chris Lee is his name. He's a younger man who he speaks with, the most. And his friend, whose name is Charlie. And Charlie's more of more of a shaman character. He doesn't speak English very well. Actually, he ends up revealing much later in the film that he does speak English, but he just chooses not to speak English when they first meet. And so Charlie has to translate. No, Chris has to translate. Anyway. So they they come to dinner, and his, David's wife ends up getting freaked out, and she's like, oh gosh, blah blah blah. And I guess Charlie ends up visiting. She ends up seeing Charlie outside, even though he's not there, and he starts having visions of Chris in his house when he's not really there, and so he gets more and more freaked out. He keeps having like dreams and premonitions and all that, and Chris apparently knows about these dreams or something like that, and so he's kind of like opens David's eyes to like what he's seeing, and so he ends up eventually, trying to get in touch with Charlie because Charlie apparently has more answers than Chris, and Chris starts to become less and less helpful, and even though Chris eventually takes David to like this sewer that leads them to where their main like shaman lives, and like there's all these tribal artifacts, and David goes in and like finds these artifacts, and the shaman attacks David, and he escapes, and he's like on the beach, and the last things he sees is this huge wave, and it's of course, and this is the ambiguous part of the movie, it's not sure as to whether or not it's like the final like like an Armageddon-esque like wave of some premonitions, or it's just a random wave that he sees on the in the ocean. So that's the last wave. That's the last wave as best as I can describe it. It wasn't, like I said, much better than Picnic at Hanging Rock. I would like to see this again because it's very, very intriguing. It's not like my favorite movie of all time, but it's not bad. Like I said, it's not bad. It's no crazy women wanting to have sex with guys and all that, or no crazy girls who are some very sexual and then some. Yeah, I think I just kind of have a problem with sexually driven movies. I don't know. That's just me. It's just hard to watch sometimes. I don't know why, but there you go. Yeah, but this one's not bad. Weird, but it's got a lot of touches of Peter Weir. I guess, and that was another thing. Apparently, I thought that Picnic at Hanging Rock was much later than The Last Wave. This was done in '77, but it wasn't released in the States till '79. And I thought Picnic at Hanging Rock was '79. I guess it was '75. I had forgotten. Yeah, so this was his first movie after Picnic at Hanging Rock, and I guess it wasn't as popular, but more popular with me. So there you go. Last Wave. What do I give it? I give it a B. Give it a B. Not bad. Not the most interesting movie. A little confusing at times, but the acting is wonderful. Cinematography is really awesome. The special features and all that. I mean, special effects. And yeah, it's worth a watch or two, just to really get into it. There's a lot of different layers and all that. So I'm definitely going to give it a watch sometime in the later future, or I don't know, when I find some time myself. Will I own it? Probably not. In fact, I don't even know if it's still in. I think this is one that's actually out of print. So I'm out of luck anyway. But anyway. Yeah, Picnic at Hanging Rock is still just so vibrant, just so eloquently, and I think it was just released last year. I have to watch the reviews for that someday. Anyway, yeah. So Last Wave B, pretty good movie. Check it. There's a 10-minute interview with Peter Weir. He talks about the movie and all that. Pretty cool. And then the trailer, and that's it. Pretty simple supplements. Last Wave, yeah, B, great stuff. Alright, so that's it for me. So, like I said, I don't know what the future is for me right now. I don't know what's going to happen. Because I don't quite know what this week is. Dropping stuff. I don't quite know what this week is going to happen for me right now. But we do have this, 143, the Obscure Object of Desire. It's not very long. The supplements seem pretty simple, so we will probably get to this one tomorrow. But more than likely this will be done tomorrow. But if it isn't, then maybe Thursday, maybe late. It'll be a late night Criterion movie. I'll do it probably, I don't know. Oh god! Speaking of eroticism and sexuality, oh man, this does not look great. But I don't know. It might be all right. If it's anything like the what was the other movie he did? The Discreet Charm of the Bourgeoisie, which wasn't bad, but it was confusing though. But apparently this was his last film, Buñuel's. So, I don't know. Anyway. So yeah, probably, more than likely, I will try my damnedest to do this tomorrow. And if not that, then maybe just the rock supplements. I don't know. Depends on how much time I have. I'll try to do, like I said, expect something Criterion from me tomorrow. Even if it's just me saying, hey, don't have time to do the reviews, which I meant to do for when I couldn't do this, but maybe I'll start doing that more, just to keep you guys updated, so you're not hanging in the lurch. Because I know there are a few of you who actually really enjoy my reviews, and I really do appreciate it that I'm not doing this just for myself, and that people are actually liking these. So, hey, and eventually I will get to replying to all your comments. It's just really confusing, the whole, ever since Google Plus started with YouTube, I've just really been against commenting on YouTube videos or replying or all that. It's really hard. So yeah, that's about it. So thanks for watching. That's it from me. Blah blah blah. Morals. Morals. I don't know. Don't get caught up with crazy tribal stuff that you don't understand. I don't know. Can't really think of a moral for this one. Yeah, that's as best as it's gonna get. So, yeah, thanks for watching, and we will see you tomorrow for either this or this. One or the other. Probably this, but maybe this, depending on time. But hopefully this. Goodbye.